This is Offside Hockey Talk, where the Maple Leafs and hockey come to talk. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever seen those apple trees where the fruit is hanging low, that even the deers don't want to grab it because it's just low, rotten, hanging fruit? Well, one of our own tonight decided to grab the negativity cloud and say, hey, it looks like sunshine and rainbows in Leafland. We need a rainy cloud over it. We need this to be doom and gloom. It needs to be sad. Did you not only know that Austin Matthews isn't going to re-sign here? William Nylander's playing so well, he's going out the door. Ilya Samsonov needs a contract. But did you know that because Michael J.S. Bunting Supreme is on a point streak, the Leafs are not going to be able to afford him? Did you know that? Did you know he's going to leave?
I don't think so. I don't think the Leafs are going to be able to afford him. How the hell did we squeeze that in? The cap's only going up $1 million next year. He makes under $1 million right now. He's getting a bag. He's going to get a bag.
He's not getting a bag, and here's the reason why. Here is the reason why. Mr. Michael Bunting has not done anything to this level before. Last season, great. This season, a little slower. Not exactly chugging at the same pace as last year. So what do you do with a guy like this who's an RFA?
He's only in a 9.
An RFA, by the way. You bridge him with a 2-year, $3.5 million deal, $375 deal, or Pete, here's the best one for you. You take Michael Bunting, you sit him down in a room, you look him eye to eye, and you say, Michael, the cap is going up in this year, next year, and the year after, more and more and more. Take the 1-year deal at $375, and we will talk in January and bring that son gun back up to
$175?
$375.
$375. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool, but like his best friend is Austin Matthews, right? Austin Matthews loves doing expensive stuff, right?
Hey, he does love doing expensive stuff.
Living downtown Toronto is expensive, right?
If you don't want to sign that deal, then go play with Alex Formanton over in the Swiss League. Go enjoy yourself.
Some team will overpay for him.
How can you overpay for him if he's an RFA? The Leafs control his rights.
I didn't even know he's an RFA. Wow, shows you what I know.
This is classic pessimistic Pete. You are classic for this. Do this every year.
He's gonna get a bag next year.
He is trending on Twitter and across everything. You know that? You called him PP? He's trending.
Is he?
PP is trending.
Mystic.
It may be Pierre, but I'm talking about pessimistic Pete, Mr. Pete.
How can you stoop this low, Pete? You do this every year. I hate it. I can't.
What did they do last year?
Listen, I thoroughly like Pete. You know why I like Pete? Because of the jersey over his shoulder. It's one of my favorite guys in the team. When I'm asked one of my favorite Maple Leafs, I say TJ Brody. I love Brody. And you share that. But then you go like you're Nick Kyprios or our friend of the show, Justin.
Hey, I like Kyprios.
And you grab that little fruit and squeeze it like a doctor squeezing testicles and say, Leafs Nation, turn your head and cough.
I can't make a tweet. I can't just tweet when
No, you didn't make a tweet. You messaged our group first
to
see how much it would blow up.
Premeditated
and then you're like,
tweeting.
yeah, I'm just gonna take this to Twitter so it blows up here too.
Is it blowing up on Twitter? I don't check it that often. I saw some people responded to me, but I'm a pessimistic people. Can you blame me though? Like, I am a Leafs fan. We're all Leafs fans. My brain is structured to think worst case scenario, and I just don't see how. I don't see how we get a good deal done.
I'm going to ask you one simple question, my friend. What does that have to do with the now?
Exactly.
I'm seeing a Michael Bunting point streak. I'm like, great.
You're expecting the worst out of this team.
It's like looking and saying, you're like every fan right now, but it's not the playoffs. Well, let's get through the season and enjoy it. Just enjoy what's in front of you. Let's enjoy this Michael Bunting toy that's an RFA that we control his rights and can do what we want and manipulate him and put the hammer down on his ass because that's what the Leafs can do in negotiations if they want to. They can do that. They did it to Rasmus Sandin, and by the way, he held out to come back to the same number that they offered him to begin with.
Boom.
So, and the Leafs will have salary cap, by the way, because Alexander Kerfoot, he's gone. That's $3.5 million.
What about Samsonov? Did you sign Samsonov?
Freaking Muzzin's money.
There's Muzzy's money. There's other money that you can figure out to move around.
What about Nylander, Matthews, and
Pierre Engvall's money's not going to be there.
Shut up! Why do you have to bring up 2 years down the road?
What are you talking about, Matthews?
Yeah, you just said Matthews and Nylander.
They come up in 2 years. I'm sure they have a set plan for what they want to pay them.
Pete, do you not remember the show that we talked about when we talked about them signing one Calle Jarnkrok as the only long-term real deal on this team? Most of the Leafs deals, outside of him and Morgan Riley, I do believe.
One more. Murray.
No. They're all done in 2 years, this year and next. Okay. And whose contract is up after this year and next? Matthews and Nylander's. A lot of money comes off the books. They are pretty wide open to make sure those core key players will have their bag handed to them. And you think they're going to let either of them go? No. But we had to start the show off of this. I was going to start the show. I'm so upset right now. I was going to start the show off tonight talking about something completely different, not even Maple Leaf related. But when I saw this, I was like, man, I got to hit that pinata and
maybe I should start tweeting more. This is fun.
Listen, I also love the fact that we can interact across social media and hype the show up a little bit too, because it is fun. And a lot of people there's a few people that were like, well, how can you tell him what to tweet and what not to tweet? I'm not telling you what not to tweet. Go ahead and tweet all you want.
I didn't even read all the replies. People are defending me. I love that. They don't even know me.
All I was saying is, why do we got to go there right now? Why can't we just enjoy the sunshine and rainbows that are bestowed upon the Maple Leafs that usually isn't happening? And when it happens within our group,
you got to start some conversation, boys. You can't just always be
mid-game. You got mid. Let me remind you, mid 7-0 game. Why can't you just enjoy the goals that are getting scored?
You got to pick something out. You got to be that guy.
You could have picked up that Sonar looked injured at one point in the night rather than freaking Bunting's contract that's freaking.
We got to talk about him later.
6 to 8 months down the road.
Or how about face-off statistics? Like I went in on the other episode where I had every single number in front of me and you decided not to show up because you were.
Yeah.
I'm still sick, boys.
I'm only ribbing you. I know how dirty it is.
I felt terrible.
Trust me, the Orlando airport floor.
You guys are definitely eating me alive today.
No, we're gonna stop beating the hell out of you here in just a moment. But yeah, Leafs Nation, do whatever you want. Talk about whatever you want. Be in on whatever you want.
Just don't tweet about it to James because he'll fucking roast you.
I'll find you. I will find you. I'll hunt you down, and I will make you enjoy what is in front of you, which is a great Leafs season, great streaks. The Leafs as a team, guys, are on the precipice of setting a new record for points as a team. You have Michael Bunting on a point streak. You have Matthews on a point streak. You have Marner on a point streak. There's all kinds of things happening that are good with this team.
Not one, not two, not three, not four.
You finally have Ilya Samsonov feeling complete as a member of the Maple Leafs because Sonar finally got to hold his baby last night and he went to bed with it. He got the belt that Edge gifted the Toronto Maple Leafs. He was so happy to have it. He went out to the press conference with it over his shoulder. So you can see how this team is bonding, Pete. Those are the things that you want to see. By the way, just so everyone knows as well, Ilya Samsonov, Sonar, my man, he also is an RFA for the Toronto Maple Leafs as well. So they also control where that story goes as well. So the Leafs have positioned themselves well. Also, Connor Timmins looking really good for the Leafs as well, guys. An RFA yet again. So they have put their puzzle pieces together nicely to try to make sure the ultimate cap playing that they have to do Ben's pretty much in their favor. But now that we've spent 10 minutes going after the low-hanging fruit, like most national shows
shout out
do.
to Zach. Zach thinks I'm the GOAT.
Listen, he put me there too.
Somebody has to.
Listen, okay, guys. What I was going to start the show off with tonight is we are proudly brought to you by Boxing Rock Brewing Co. Puck off Lauderdale, the absolute big beer for the big game. I was going to talk about Bo Horvat. Ooh. And I want to get something off my chest.
Salty.
It sucks. It sucks for a guy who is the captain of a team in a Canadian market. And I don't care who did it. I don't care if it was his agent, a reporter, the GM, the coach, the hot dog vendor, the guy who sells popcorn in row 13, section 2. It doesn't matter who did it. What matters is you don't out that he declined the last contract. Because now what you've done is no matter what he does, whether he scores 70 goals or doesn't score another one, the fan base is now turned on him. They have turned on him. And it's going everything he does wrong now will be the biggest thing under the microscope, and they will pick it apart. And his life, sadly, is going to become a living hell. And we've seen it with so many different athletes in different markets, in different sports. It happens. But when this stuff becomes public, it then affects the player and what they can do and what they cannot do. And I feel bad for Bo Horvat because now it's pretty much known he doesn't.
Where do you think he goes?
Vancouver. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. But it's pretty much known that he doesn't want to be in Vancouver. You know, he turned down their offer, so he doesn't want to be a Canuck. He doesn't want to wear that C anymore on his jersey. So where does he go, Pete? I'm telling you right now, if I'm a team that needs to get over the hump and do something major, like the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know Jeremy Ridgewell wrote about it today. The Leafs are foolish to do this deal. But I will tell you right now, why would you not want a Bo Horvat? What happened to the Leafs against Montreal? Who went down?
AAV?
5.
You can listen,
but it's 1 year. It's for the rest of the season. It doesn't matter.
You can listen. If the Leafs can get a double retain on Nick frickin' Foligno, I'm sure they can find a double retain for Bo Horvat.
Enough.
But what I say is, if you go get Bo Horvat, you bring Luke Shen with him.
That would be
you
so
bring both players to this one. And you know what? You bring it full circle. And just imagine, put this one, Pete. This is sunshine and rainbows talking. I know you're used to gray clouds. But just remember, okay, Luke Shen was a draft pick of the Maple Leafs. Imagine bringing it full circle and he wins the cup. Just imagine that good juju, bringing that guy back on a good team when he was the only good point at that point when they brought him in and tried to rush him. They're trying to use his name and his value and his stake to create equity with the fan base that we have something here. Look at this guy and watch our product.
Yeah.
Just imagine.
Do you remember the Luke Shen draft, James? Like, didn't we trade up for him?
I do not believe we did. No.
No?
He was drafted
9th. No.
Was he drafted 9th in the 09?
You're asking a lot.
I'm pretty sure that
drafts are not my forte.
No.
I'll look it up.
But
look it up for us.
Regardless, that story would be great. But here's where Bo Horvat's going to end up. And you guys are going to just slam me as much as I just slam Pete. He's going to be a Boston Bruin. You move Krejci down to the 3rd C. You put Horvat as the 2nd C. I'm just saying. I made Dylan so mad he skipped off the camera. What's that?
Good job, Dylan.
Yeah. See, for me, that's the team right there. I mean, you look at a team that wants to put themselves over. They're looking really good. They're rolling. They're doing good things. You bring him and Shen.
You think Horvat and Meyer are going to Boston? With what assets from Boston are going the other way?
Well, no. Obviously, Boston only gets one. They don't get Horvat and Meyer. But I think Boston will get one of them.
Either way, whoever they get, what assets are going the other way? That's my only biggest thing with Boston. They don't have assets to trade.
They always look like they don't have things to trade, and all of a sudden they do something.
You remember when we said they weren't making the playoffs? Oh, smokes.
Listen.
Oh.
Okay, I'm wrong about that.
Wow. James just like
cut off.
Well, he was wrong about that. That's right. I don't know. I don't know if Horvat's gonna go to Boston.
What about LA? You think
they do need the forward depth up front. It is what it is.
Yeah.
To look at Luke Shen, he was in the 08 draft. Is he coming back? Yeah. Hey, long time no see. Oh.
Yeah, don't know what happened there. It kicked me off. I guess it didn't like what I was talking about. I guess even StreamYard is a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. Didn't want to hear about the Boston experiment. So
exactly.
But yeah, anyways, I don't know what I missed in the last minute, but that was where I was at.
Legit nothing.
But
just my silly comments. Luke Shen was in the 08 draft. That's all I said.
All right, Luke Shen was in the 08 draft. Fun story was the absolute first Maple Leaf jersey I purchased on my own.
5th overall, by the way.
Perfect.
5th overall. I'm pretty sure. Didn't we trade up for that? I thought we did, but maybe I'm wrong. But it's funny you say jerseys. First jersey I ever bought was a fake Phil Kessel jersey.
Me too.
Yeah.
It was the Winter Classic one I think I got.
Second jersey I ever bought was a fake Joffrey Lupul Winter Classic.
Joffrey Lupul. Jesus.
Joffrey.
You say them wrong on purpose, right?
What's
I say them wrong accidentally.
Well, how do you say his name? It's Joffrey Lupul.
Yeah. How do you say?
Not Yoff.
How do you say Kevin Bieksa?
Kevin Bieksa.
Kevin
Bieksa.
Comment section absolutely rinsed me.
Bieksa.
I was like,
what's wrong with Joffrey Lupul, man? That's what it is.
Joffrey. Oh, welcome to Joffrey Farm.
It's not Jeffrey. Go look at any interview. It's Joffrey Lupul.
I said Joff, not Jeff. Joffrey, not
It's Joffrey.
No.
Joffrey.
I'm gonna look it up on Google.
Joffrey.
Anyway,
that's the episode name. Doomsday Joffrey.
Sorry, you're gonna call it Pessimistic Pete or something. Jesus.
No, I just named it Doomsday for now. Everybody watching this sees it's Tuesday in the title. So yeah, the Toronto Maple Leafs go out and pound the Anaheim Ducks 7-0. There was a lovely video before the game where someone said it should be a shooting gallery. Oh, I hear.
Joffrey Lupul.
I don't hear no Yoff.
Joffrey.
Joffrey.
Guys, it's Joffrey.
Listen, you're listening to some animated voice. You're not listening to Joe Bowen. You're not listening to anyone else call his name, and you're not listening to me, Mystic Mac, call his name. Okay,
Mystic Mac. Who gave you that name?
You don't watch UFC? You don't know Conor McGregor? Listen, I was bang on last night's game. I read off all the stats about the Ducks and how the Leafs would have the shots and the goals to get it done. And Bunts, Marner, and the Leafs would keep their streak alive. And Sonar would be so good at tracking the pucks.
Sonar. Is that stuck yet? Are people calling him Sonar?
It is. If you look through the prediction season comments, there's people saying you're really trying with the Sonar name. Everybody, you Sonar. Lots of people saying Sonar, so I'm loving it.
Okay, I guess we'll go Sonar until
it starts to show. Listen, the Leafs like to call him Sammy. The Leafs like to call him Sammy. I like to call him Sammy.
I like Sammy, but Sonar's good for the pod. And if it sticks, it sticks.
I feel like this podcast is a disaster.
Why is this podcast a disaster? This is great. This is absolutely great because this is what people like to see. A little personality, a little fun, a little pizzazz, a little.
I'm just so irritated with everything lately. Jeez, everything in Leafs land. Everybody's just so negative. Like, why?
Even when they're on a what's their point streak at? We always got to pick out something.
Listen, they're at 16.
That's just Leaf fans. We have to.
Listen, every year there's a whipping boy for the Maple Leafs, and this year was Justin Hall up until the injuries happened.
Hall of Famer.
And right now, there's nothing you can say about this team.
How are we going to re-sign Justin Hall? He's a UFA at the end of the season. How are we going to squeeze him in?
Let him walk.
Another year.
That's what you got Connor Timmins
for. Miss Justin Hall.
We don't want him.
That's what you got Connor Timmins for, who's looking mighty confident, might add. Listen, last night,
baby.
Last night, the Toronto Maple Leafs looked great, though. I love the way that, for once, they didn't play down to a downed opponent. They kept the tempo all game long. They didn't let the team back in. They didn't take their foot off the neck. They didn't say, oh, we scored 4 goals. We feel bad. Guys, let them in a little bit. Let them come back a little bit. No, they said, screw you. We're putting our skate blade to your jugular, and if you move, you're dead. Wow. So we're cutting the Ducks' heads off. Let's go. So they really went to war last night. But they showed the maturity of this team, though. Right up until the final buzzer, they were battling. Even David Kampf giving Zegras the shove at the end of the game. They were just being chippy right to the end. They did not let up, and I love it. And Sheldon Keefe didn't let up either. You see Tage Thompson not being allowed to go for the record the other night because his coach didn't want him to run up the score. This right here there, Dylan, was Sheldon Keefe saying, we're going to keep rolling. We're going to make sure all of the little things for all of our lines go well. And it did.
Sucks to suck, Anaheim, but I'm sorry.
Fun fact in my TikTok comment section, Ducks have only one regular season game this year. One regular season win this year. Which is, I mean, like, they're bad.
They are.
They're terrible.
They're 31st in the league on the penalty kill. They give up the most shots. They give up the most goals. Their goalie gives up the most goals on the penalty kill. So
I'm so glad we didn't trade for him.
Lots of people want Gibby. Hey, Clark, where you at?
Can we talk about Sammy? I mean, Sonar, best goalie in the league right now as per GAA and save percentage.
I still think he's below all mark.
Wow.
And for save percentage, no, he's top. He's first place right now.
Okay.
In GAA.
Listen, the beginning of the season, there is no one in Leafland, not even me or Dylan or you, Pete, that thought it would be this good. I was optimistic. I thought it was going to be okay.
Optimistic, pessimistic. I'll be
neutral. I
neutral.
think the Leafs to win the division.
Listen, Al, I was with you. I thought they were going to do well.
I wasn't.
I just thought that it would be the offense propping them up, not the defense. And again, we showed why Jack Campbell got a 5x5 deal over in Edmonton. It's because of the defense of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And they're proving it again this year. The Leafs are top 3 in the league in goals against. Like their metric. They have the least goals against. 1, 2, 3. That's them. Bam.
Why is this guy dancing?
He's dancing because the Leafs have good stats. But deep dive. Like there's a wicked site. I got to send it to you guys. It deep dives on every single category for everything for the teams, and then individual stats for individual players. Like Erik Karlsson's been on the ice for more goals than any other player, but yet still he's one of the absolute beasts in getting points and being that other thing that Norris Trophy winners get, which is stupid. I thought you were a defenseman. Aren't you supposed to be good at the position you play?
There needs to be a new trophy.
Sunday night, boys, get ready to do your homework because Sunday night, I think it's the NFL or the NBA, one of the two, are renaming all of their trophies.
Oh, NBA just renamed one.
So we are going to rename all of the trophies. Tune in Sunday. Bring your lists of what you want the names to be. It has to be player-based. What's that?
Can we add a trophy?
We cannot add it. Well, you know what? You can add one trophy.
Thank you.
One trophy can be added to this list.
I got my trophy already.
I know what trophy I'm adding.
It's going to be fun. Let's do something fun. By that time, we'll know the results of the New York Ranger game, the Washington Capitol game. I look at last night's game, and I'm very happy because it was a complete effort. Power play, penalty kill, rolling the lines, controlling the play. They just did everything. They didn't let up in any one category, which is perfect, which is what you want a team that is learning to take strides to do. You don't want them to, falter in the third or give up 2 or 3 because they're playing so loose that they don't think that they can lose. We've seen the Leafs do that this year. They kept their foot on the neck and they kept it going, and they did not allow anything. And Sonar looked freaking great, tracking the puck all night long. There was at one point where he did stand up or went to go stand up, and it looked like he was laboring a little bit. That concerned me. But then the next play, he went from post to post, sliding across, and I was like, all right, you must be okay, because it didn't seem like he's worse to wear. By the way, a little Leafs news and notes. Mac Hollowell sent back to, or loaned to, the Toronto Marlies, which is probably a precursor to Jordy Ben rejoining.
He's back to full health now.
Looking that way. Nothing's been announced officially, but obviously he's been practicing with the team and taking reps, so I would assume. Also, Morgan Riley. If you look at the Leafs, now this is the Leafs website for injuries. Clark, we were just talking about you, by the way. John Gibson is not the goaltender the Leafs should go after, and that was great that they didn't. Yeah, you look at Morgan Riley on the Leafs website. I believe they have it listed as December 16th, where he's supposed to come back. I don't even know if he's put a skate blade on the ice yet. So I think that's just very optimistic by the Leafs website, that maybe just the day he can come off LTIR and come back to play if he could. But I don't think he's going to be. I said to you guys when it happened, probably the longer end of things. And just like they just did with TJ Brody, why not? Sit him out. Let him rest. Let him heal. Let him be 100%. Let him hang out with Tessa Virtue and have fun. So.
I forgot he's dating her. That's amazing. Good for Morgan.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She's an Olympic gold winning Olympian, right? And Morgan Riley has
millions of dollars.
World Juniors. Gold.
World Juniors. Oh, does he actually? Yeah.
National gold. There you go.
Canada, yes, right? All right.
I don't know if he has world. What do they do in the playoffs for non-playoff teams?
Oh, the World Cup of Hockey or whatever. Not the World. You know what it is? It's the World. It's something Worlds.
Yeah.
I think it's the World Cup of Hockey, but yeah. No, if you got Morgan Riley, you could chill him for a little bit longer, let him be 1,000,000% healthy. Why not?
Yeah. Come back in
you
the year,
Connor Timmins. You got Connor Timmins who's playing pretty well, and you really want this young guy who's been befuddled by injury, concussions, and different things. You really want to give him some runway to play and be able to get his game up to speed to know exactly what you have. Because obviously, Kyle Dubas said this guy may be a future part of this organization, and if the 4 points turn into more points and the good play continues to be great, then, maybe you have something. And it goes back to what I said to you guys earlier this year. The Leafs have stretched their depth on D and played almost everybody that they possibly could throw into the lineup from Hollowell down. And they've done it. And they've played well. Everyone who's come in has stepped up, known the system, known the job, did it well. So when the trade deadline comes around, unless you're going for a Chikrin or a Manson or something big, then you've already got the depth guys that you chase for your 5, 6, 7, 8 spots, right?
I was gonna say, do you even need a top 4 defenseman at this point at the trade deadline, or do you just go for that depth guy as an example like Luke Schenn?
I put my hand up and say Mark Giordano's that first pair ad that you want. The guy can play 20 plus minutes a night.
He's taking a lot of minutes on. I just hope he's still.
But here's the thing:
he is at the end of the season. I'm trying not to be pessimistic. He's playing great right now.
His minutes are gonna go down once Morgan.
He's 39 years old, if not.
I agree with you full-heartedly, Pete. That you're going to tax his minutes out. But here's the thing: when guys come back, just like Dylan said, you're going to limit his minutes. And if you can get him back down to 14, maybe some nights if you're doing really well, But also, you guys have to remember what Giordano said. He doesn't want to be limited. He wants everything that he can possibly do. And I'll do it again. He wants to all those minutes.
It may be good for his legs. Some guys just roll like that. Like if they keep their feet moving, they're not gonna, seize up, and like accidents obviously happen, injuries obviously happen, but he might be somebody that just gels best when everything's just freaking motoring at all.
I'm of the belief, Pete. I don't know. I want to hear your guys' opinion on this, Pete. You can see it, hear this one last time, or maybe you heard it but weren't get to be a part of it. I said I think the Leafs only have one deal in the chamber for trade deadline with cap and just assets that they have that they're willing to move. I'm saying one major deal. So if this team wants to do a deal, because this is the window, this is the year, you're looking better defensively metric, your goaltenders are better. Statistically, you're about to beat the points that you had last year if everything holds true. If this is the year you want to go over the top, you have assets, proper assets, to make one major move. Do you think I'm right or wrong?
You're definitely right. I mean, we don't need goaltending. I mean, they both look good. We might have the best tandem in the league right now. It seems like we have a lot of depth in scoring. At least it's buzzing right now. We're getting scoring from Engvall, Kerfoot. Camp looks great. Wait till Yarncrook comes back from his injury. We have to go for a defenseman at this point, I think. Like, what do you think we need to do? Like, it's got to be a defenseman, right?
Top six forward.
Top six forward, but the thing is, like, who is that going to be? You
don't think they're going to try to squeeze Nyes in at the end of the season? He might have a resurgence when he comes back.
Robertson's getting dealt.
Yeah, Robertson's dealt.
Listen, Pete, you know me, and I can say this honestly. I'm a big Nick Robertson fan. I love Nick Robertson. It's not working here. It's not.
I fucking love that kid.
What's gonna happen if we trade him? He's gonna play like his brother.
He is
going somewhere else.
He is going to be a top player in this league, but at this time, he just doesn't fit with us, and it sucks.
What they're asking
freaking much, but in order to trade him, I truly believe he has to come into the lineup, prove a little bit more worth, and then leave.
See what he's doing on his line, Pete, and what the Leafs want him to do is the Michael Bunting
shoulder.
No, it's the Michael Bunting S. They want him to be that way. That's why he's going in the corners. That's why he's battling. That's why he got hurt. They want him to be that complementary piece on the Marner Tavares line. But he's not. That's what I'm saying. He needs to be in the position of Nylander and Marner, where he's a flanker that can score or pass, not be the primary guy to dig pucks out and battle. But that's what he needs to be on that line because they already have two of those other players.
He will 100% flourish in a place like Chicago or Arizona,
where he can be the offensive guy and somebody else is taking care of it.
Once Taves or Kane leaves.
That's the reason why I say I think the Leafs put a package together and they go hard after Timo Meier. I think that's their number one target. I really do.
He could flourish there as well. That is a good point. They're
San Jose would love it.
But
love it. Put him with Hurdle.
Does he play that type of game? I don't watch him.
Timo Meier would be perfect in the top six. Tell me he would not compliment Matthews and Nylander.
I don't know his size.
Or Marner.
I don't know his size. I'm gonna look.
He's a player that I think the Leafs could use. He's got some snarl. He's played in the West. He knows how to be physical. He's a battler. He can score you over 30 goals. I'm not saying the Leafs are going to resign him, Pete, and he's going to be a Maple Leaf for a long time.
Whoa!
I'm just saying this guy could really come in and help the Leafs lineup.
His weight just alone is plenty enough for me to prove that he can.
Gronk status
at 220.
He's a big boy.
But that's what, and he's got hands, and he's a power forward.
Yes.
Just imagine.
Yes, wow.
Throwing him out there with Marner, Matthews, and Meier. The line. The
line.
That line, baby. That
along with that line.
That money line.
money.
But just okay, you want to go nuclear. You're in the playoffs, you get a power play. Meier, Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares.
No, you can't. You can't do that. You
can't. And Marner's on your point to be the defensive guy if things go south.
Oh, you can't do that.
Can you imagine that? Can you just imagine? I wanted Joe Pavelski so bad last year. that it was.
Oh man, Joe Pavelski would be so beautiful here.
He would have been
But
amazing. He
now
would have been
he's
that
doing
top six
just
guy.
like
But again,
him.
I've been beating the drum this year. The Leafs need that top six guy. The defense has proved to me, even the depth, that they have what they need.
I think you're right.
And if my tinfoil hat comes true and Muzzin comes back too, I'm just saying, that's
No,
another ad.
no.
That's another ad. Just saying, that's my one tinfoil conspiracy theory, that if Muzzin comes back and he's that other ad. But anyways,
Man,
top
I'm
six,
next one.
I'll whisper another name. And I know it's not going to happen because St. Louis is starting to roll.
Patrick Kane. Oh, Ryan O'Reilly.
Ryan O'Reilly, please come to the Leafs. You're a UFA at the end of the year. Come to us. Come here.
I think it's my turn next to have a tinfoil thought, or just my breakout thought, because clearly you two have hit it off with your interesting thoughts.
Listen, there's no reason why the Toronto Maple Leafs should not go for a big move this year. There's no reason.
If they don't, Dubas should get fired.
I'm going to tell you right now that I think my other tinfoil hat thing will come true, that Jason Spezza will be back on the ice for the Toronto Maple Leafs to finish this season.
I think that's stupid.
I don't.
Possible. Like, they could.
I think it's possible, but I think you're stupid. Like, if you bow out, you should just bow out, man. No offense, but you win a ring as somebody in the organization.
I also don't think the Toronto Maple Leafs really had any idea that Pontus Holmberg was going to be what he is right now.
Oh man, Keith is
looking better and better.
Him off right now.
He's looking better and better every game.
Right now?
What's that?
If he was here right now, Dylan, I would not.
Holy Hannah!
Put the lipstick on, Pete.
Sideways. But yeah, Pontus Holmberg last night driving the net, putting the shoulder down. He's getting more confidence with the offense. I wouldn't be surprised if they give him some PP time on the second unit. And I don't mean pessimistic Pete time either. I mean, actual power play time on the second unit, just to fire him up a little bit, to reward him for his play. The only thing, and Dylan, I brought up the stats last game. The only thing I got worried about for Pontus Holmberg is if he's going to be your third line center, which you're going to start him defensively a lot, either in the offensive zone to win possession and grind down a line in the O zone, or in the D zone, same thing. He's got to win those faceoffs. I think be subpar.
I think I saw one last game there against Anaheim where he got a warning. I thought he was going to be tossed out, but he got a warning, and I think he won it. But he's looking to improve for sure. Like,
he is looking to improve, and from what I've read about practice, he is working on the dot thing. I don't know who he's working on it with. Matthews shot up a little bit, but I look at guys like Kampf and Tavares, steady 63%, 70, 82% for Kampf on the face up top. Just
Kampf is like our hero. I was gonna say something way more.
Oh, there you go, Pete. There's another guy that's a UFA at the end of the year too.
You don't think we re-sign him? I love him.
He will. He probably resign here, and not for much either. $2 million.
Really?
$2 million.
He'd be like, I won this many face-offs. I'm going to get this much money.
His offense has ticked up last year and this year, and the Leafs have a dubious record when the man scores. So there's 16-0-1 when he scores.
Love David Kampf.
So if Kampf scores, you're at least going to overtime and getting a point. So, but more often than not, much like Sheldon Keefe challenging, that you're going to be getting whatever you want. So. Yeah, I look at the Toronto Maple Leafs. I say the big ad's going to be up front, I think, now that you've stretched your absolute depth to the max and learned.
Well, yeah, isn't Malgin up there in the top 6 right now anyways?
He is. That's what I mean. Malgin, Robertson, Yarncroke. Yarncroke will look good on the third or fourth line. Yes, that's where he belongs. But I really think that if you want to push this team over the top, you go and get yourself a bona fide top 6 forward, preferably to play the left flank with JT and Marner. And yeah, I mean, how many big names pop out to you?
Why don't we just go out and get Tom Wilson?
The Caps are in the race, though. It's got to be teams that
they're
are
so old. They'll be like, "Yeah, I'm so glad that we got rid of that money."
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the
I'm
Leafs want to
kidding.
hold on
I'm
to that
kidding.
money.
He's just another power forward that would defend.
I said Tyler
anybody
Bertuzzi.
on.
Tyler Bertuzzi would be my other ideal grab.
He won't leave Detroit.
Yeah. By the way, contract dispute right now happening. Steve Yzerman already came out and said he's not paying him what he wants. He also has to sign Dylan Larkin, which that's not going so smoothly. People think he's going to pull a Steven Stamkos. And it has already been said by Elliot Friedman and Jeff Merrick, shout out to the 32 Thought podcast, that if they need to move someone to get assets where they're not maybe in a playoff spot, or they don't want to let a guy walk, which would what Bertuzzi would be, they're going to trade him. And I'm saying if the border thing gets laxed, because that's the only hitch in this giddy up, if that gets laxed, then you can have Bertuzzi. But right now, he can come play in Canada, but when he goes to the States, he can't play. So that's why he's staying in the States.
Oh, he can't play after he goes up.
The border thing still going into the States, because this was brought to my attention when I said I really wanted to get Tyler Bertuzzi. Everyone said that because of the vaccination thing, he would not be able to go in and play. You have to show proof of vaccination.
Here or there?
Going to the States. So if he plays here, the Leafs play a lot of their games in the States when they travel. So he wouldn't be able to go with the team unless he quarantined.
Why the hell are the States still like that? I thought they blew that out of the water before we did.
Go look it up. You have to provide proof of vaccination to go.
To go in the States?
To go into the States. Put it in the old Google machine right now, and it'll come up and it'll tell you exactly what you need.
I thought that was only if you were driving across.
Nope. Trust me, I was blown out of the water on Twitter when I was like, no, you don't need that anymore. And everybody was sending me articles and everything. It's still a thing.
Did you have to when going to Florida?
We didn't going in, but we brought it with us because it said that we needed it.
If you're a non-U.S. citizen, you need to show proof of vaccination.
Yep. So he would be a non-resident.
Wow.
So
doesn't he have a home in Detroit? He could just say he lives in Detroit.
I don't know. But if you read underneath that, though, then this is what I was saying to people. It does say special exemptions can apply. So I would believe that work would be a special exemption.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're so far removed from it now that, come on. I mean, but he would be we're talking this stuff now, but he would be a guy that I'd be interested in. He's got snarl. He's got bite. He'll go to the front of the net. He'll drop the mitts. He'll go in the corner. He'll do all those things that they want Nicky Bobby to do, but he's got the size and the snarl to do it. Yeah. He might look good, but my optimum guy is Timo Meier. But anyways, it is and what's. So we got 2 games coming up. We blew the Ducks out of the water. The Rangers aren't the hottest ticket, but Shesterkin definitely has the Leafs number when it comes to shutting it down.
Yep.
What do we see going on here with the Leafs and the Rangers? What can we forecast and look forward to? I'm looking forward to the Toronto Maple Leafs picking up a victory over the Rangers, and I think it's going to be a hard-fought one. I think it's going to be a 3-2, 4-3 kind of game, right down to the wire, but the Leafs will pull it out.
I think the Leafs are going to – I think my prediction is that the Leafs are going to keep the streak on to the new year. So I think they're going to get – yes, I think they're going to get a point tomorrow. It may not be a win, but I think they're going to walk away with at least 1 point tomorrow.
Interested to hear what the clean sweep man says.
Wait, is that what I said at the beginning of the week? Clean sweep? Yeah, dude, man, this team's on a heater. Marner's on a heater. I predicted 25 games. I think this could go beyond that. If he surpasses 30, he will be official top 4 player to ever have a streak.
I think he rolls. Like I said, I think the Leafs win. It'll be close. And if they get to overtime again, at least they get to see Camp on the ice, Pete, to start overtime again. It's gonna be fun.
Can we talk about that for a second?
I want to talk about the fact that I honestly kind of think somebody from Leafs land is listening to this podcast, because you said that. What was there was something else that was said. I forget what else was said, but somebody's listening and things are happening, and we're talking about them before they happen. So
someone's listening, but James, you said start David Camp. Yeah, you did.
And 2 defensemen.
He started Sandin, Liljegren, and Camp. He lost the face-off draw.
Doesn't matter. Look what happened.
It doesn't matter, but we didn't get to see anything because of the penalty, but it worked out. Yeah, they've had bad luck, and it's about time they've had their luck go towards them. So I guess changing it up in some way or form, it helped.
But the way that I was thinking of it, you put Camp on the ice with 2 defenders. He wins the draw, cycles it back to the defender. They hold the puck until Matthews and Marner come over the board. The defender cycles the puck out, gets off the ice, or stays on, whatever, via if it's Sandin. But that's what I think is the smartest thing for them right now. For whatever reason, it's the initial brain farts off of the face-offs and the first plays. So you have a very calm, I know we lost the draw, I get it, but you have a very calm David Camp who wins defensive draws. So the theory is you draw it back to the defender drops back, allow your offensive guys to come in, allow that defender who's good at moving the puck out of the zone to do his thing, moving the puck forward, and then you go and hopefully have a chance. But I think that's the play they were going for. We'll never know because we didn't get to see it, but that's what I would think would happen. I don't think Camp's going to try to go down the ice and try to set up a chance unless all 3 players for the opposing team just slip and fall on their arse.
that's fair.
All right. So the Rangers game, we agree they're going to win. Lots of fun things coming up this week for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Lots of streaks to keep your eyes on, guys. Dylan, Pete, this week, anything we should be watching for you guys over on your TikTok channels, ladies and gentlemen? These guys are TikTok stars. Go check out their videos. Mr. $1 million man below me here, Pete the Heat. And then, of course, D434 cracking the slabs, baby. Loving seeing those cards come through. Anything coming up? Anything we should know about?
I wanted to talk about this 7-leg parlay bet that's been going around the internet for the last month. This guy, he put a $26 bet. He bet the Colorado Avalanche to win. He bet the Golden State Warriors to win. He bet the March Madness winner. He bet Manchester City to win. Another Italian soccer league team. Basically, 7 teams to win outright. The last bet he needs is for France to win the World Cup. If he hits that $26 bet, it pays out over $500,000 on a $26 bet. And the last thing he needs is for France to win the World Cup on Sunday.
You think Messi's gonna fall again?
I don't know, dude. I barely follow soccer. Is he? I mean,
he's in the finals. He's in the finals, and I didn't know this, but apparently it's his last hurrah at the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, he's fairly old, right? Yeah, so
he's like 35-ish. It was Ronaldo's last, and I think it's Modric on Croatia's last last tournament as well. I don't know. It would be great for him, but that's quite the odds to hit.
$26 bet pays out $500,000. Could you imagine? And he just needs the one last outright win by France.
They did win today to push it to the finals. So
So that's what's buzzing with me. What about you, Dylan?
Well, I know that there was a streak in the WHL by number 1 projected draft pick, Mr. Connor Bedard. During his 27-game point streak, he had 27 goals and 37 assists for 64 points. Most of all, I actually want to focus on Team Canada and the World Juniors coming up. I'm actually really, really stoked for that. I just put out a video today on it and talked about the roster. I'm thinking about breaking down the roster or breaking down every other team's roster.
Cool.
Not sure what way I'm gonna go about it yet, but
I'm definitely pumping out some junior content as well. I'm going basically what I was posting last year, just talking about what happened with Everly, the guy throwing his medal over the boards when they beat Sweden.
Yeah.
This my favorite one is the Switzerland coach when he was just like, "We have no chance. They're better than us. They have all these first round picks. We are gonna get smashed." Just
Guys,
I love all those little moments.
We are, for junior stuff, we do an episode on Offside Hockey Talk every year. We've done it for the past probably 5 years. It's called the Junior Fever.
Ooh.
And we will be doing the Juniors Fever. I think, Dylan, you might have got to be a part of one already when the Redux happened in August with Mark Seidel.
Okay, maybe. Yep.
But anyways, Mark Seidel is going to be in town, ladies and gentlemen, here where I am.
Ooh.
So it might be a couple of people dropping by and doing a live show much like this with a couple people sitting with me talking about the World Juniors and what is going on behind us. So that could be some fun. But obviously, Offside Hockey Talk will have that. But you got to follow Pete over on TikTok. Make sure you follow him on Twitter too, by the way. I know you guys are starting to follow him. Same thing with Dylan. Make sure you follow everybody. These guys are stars over on TikTok. I am the greenhorn, just getting in there, wedging my way into content.
Whoa. You're just getting in there. You already passed me in followers, so hey, you got that going for you.
Pure sheer luck off a couple of videos. That's all that is.
You're pretty consistent. I'm not so much.
Well, hey, listen, I'm learning from you guys on the old TikTok sphere. So I learned last episode or a couple episodes ago that Pete and me are a lot closer in age than I thought. So that's pretty cool. I don't feel so old manish of the group.
No one ever gets my age right. I never look like my age.
No, I honestly thought, Pete, you were probably 21, 22.
Oh my god.
Right. I thought Dylan was encroaching on 30.
I'm older than producer Clark.
Clarky. But yeah, God. Make sure you check out all the content going on. We got Manny as well pumping out articles. And of course, like I said, we got some lacrosse stuff coming down the pipeline. A lot of wrestling stuff going to be posted up as well. Literally before I did this show, I was talking with the Newfoundland Nightmare, Justin Newhook. We did an episode there talking to him, pumping up their show coming up. So there's lots of stuff here, guys, for you to check out. But make sure you always check out our hockey shows on Wednesday and Sunday. I think this may be Dylan's last Wednesday show for a while.
Yep.
Wah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
This is first week is days, and then the rest are afternoons, so that kind of sucks. But I may chat with you boys to fit in a little something somewhere else, and you guys can chat about that on Wednesdays if you want.
We will make sure that it's always blasted across. But guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone who checks out hockey, this is Offside Hockey Talk, where the Maple Leafs and hockey comes to talk. We'll see you on Sunday.